Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be going over the pros and cons of going to the University of Michigan. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about the cons, so that's why I'm making this video. And I really want to make a video for high schoolers who are thinking about where they want to go to college, and by the end of this video, if they're interested in going to UMich, to see if they want to weigh the pros and cons and if they can imagine themselves going to University of Michigan. So that's why I'm really making this video. Disclaimer, a lot of my pros can be perceived as cons, and a lot of my cons can be perceived as pros for some people. So I feel like a pros and cons list is very subjective into different people's perspectives. So just keep that in mind. But we have a lot to go through in this video, so let's get straight into it. So starting off with the pros, what are some great things at the University of Michigan that you won't get at other schools? Well, we have a pretty quality list. So the first pro is Michigan's prestige. Michigan is the top of the top best schools to go to, like, in the country. Michigan is ranked number one to number 3 of the top best universities in the country, depending on what list you're looking at. We have it at the number 1 public university for one list, and then number 3 best public universities for the US World News website. Michigan is for sure though one of the best universities in the world, which is like the entire planet. Like, we're number 23 for the best universities, period, which is like awesome. We're the number 1 public research university, which is awesome. So we're just like a very top ranked school in general, and we're known to be the leaders and best. So it's a very prestigious school. Another pro is just great academics. We have over 250 degree programs with 19 schools and colleges. We have great professors, great resources. We have very quality programs in general with great quality professors and head of department, stuff like that. And we really take our academics very seriously. I feel like our degree programs, they don't BS. They're really about their stuff. One thing about Michigan is that Michigan has so many degree programs that are top 10 in the country that, again, it goes to show how prestigious we are. And a lot of schools, they brag about their one program that's top 10 in the country. When Michigan, you have our business school, our public health school, our economics department, a lot of our departments are top 10 in the country. So again, we have great quality academic programs that rank among the top 10 in the entire country. So that just goes to show how prestigious and great quality our great academics are. Another pro is a living alumni system. We have over 600,000 living alumni that has graduated from the University of Michigan, which gives you a great broad networking opportunity for whatever degree you graduate with or whatever program or career you want to go into. There's guaranteed that there's somebody that has graduated from here that can help you, get a job or network with them, make connections. That's how big and broad our alumni network is. So when it comes to making opportunities and getting a job after undergrad, you have so many countless opportunities to connect with over 600,000 living alumni, and we have the largest living alumni system in the entire country for any university. So again, Michigan with its one-of-a-kind pros here, which is awesome. Another pro is our top tier sports as of the end of the 2023 season, because it's 2024. We don't know what the future holds, but we just got out of being the national champions for football. Thank you, Jim Harbaugh. Our basketball program isn't good, but one thing about Michigan is that all of its other sports, there are so many Big Ten champions in our school. So we have a lot of championships in our conference, which is the Big Ten Conference. Our rugby team, our gymnastics team, our track team, all of the other sports we're Big Ten champions at. So we are great at our sports. Hockey, lacrosse, baseball, we've been Big Ten champions, and a lot are back to back to back. Every year we're almost Big Ten champions in a lot of stuff. So we have top tier sports, and I don't know what the future holds, but if you love going to sports events, Michigan is a great place for you. We have great social life, so we're a work hard, play hard school, which means that you'll see a lot of us studying before we go out, but when we go out, we have a good time. So there are always parties to go to, events to go to, free food when you just look around campus to see where the free food is at. We have a lot of, top tier social life, work, study balance going on here. We see Mr. Brightside at the end of the third quarter every football game. We have snowball fights. Like, there's always something going on, and even if you're an introverted person, you'll find something for you to do. But if you're extroverted, of course, you'll find something to do here. So I love how balanced the social life and, you know, academic and social life balance is here. It's very awesome. And I want to mention, before we go to the next pro, we have top tier tailgating. So that kind of goes in with the sports thing, like on game days. They tailgate so hard here, and we have a whole golf course that like filled with people tailgating. So that's really cool. And then the sports tickets are pretty affordable. And yeah, we just have top tier sports, top tier social life here. Beautiful campus. Again, this might be taken as a con, or people might not agree with me, but like when it's hot or even when it's snowing, like Ann Arbor is such a beautiful place to be. I love the diag when it's hot, when people are laying down in the diag on their blankets and, you know, just having a fun time. I feel like our campus is very beautiful. We have a nature reserve here on campus called the Arb. It's really my safe place. I love going on nature walks at the Arb. But we have a very beautiful campus here. Most of our dorms have been renovated. We have beautiful nature. I just love walking in Ann Arbor over the summer or in the winter, I guess. But yeah, we have a beautiful campus, in my opinion. It's just very beautiful. Ann Arbor is a beautiful place, beautiful city. Overall, love it in Ann Arbor. Neighborhoods are pretty decent. We'll get into crime later, but we have a lot of restaurants. There's a whole bunch of food for you to try. Like, it's endless. The opportunities are endless here. There are so many fun things to do. We have festivals that come to Ann Arbor during the summer and springtime, so like, and a lot of stuff. So I love the campus. Affordability is another pro in scholarships. I would say more so for in-state students. I'm an in-state student, so I feel like it's like the Go Blue guarantee and a lot of the grants that Michigan gives you, it makes it affordable. And even if you're out of state, I'm pretty sure they'll give you something, so at least you're not, most of the time, unless if your parents are rich, they're not going to make you pay full out of pocket. But I'm pretty sure Michigan is very affordable with the scholarships, and you can apply for more scholarships if you look on Michigan's website. But Michigan is pretty affordable for me since my family doesn't make a lot. They've been really helpful with that. Another pro is the great transportation system, more so the public city bus transportation. It's very convenient. We have like this tri-city busing system that'll take you from Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti, which is a neighboring city, and I think another city that's outside of Ann Arbor, but the city buses are free with your M card, so it comes with your tuition and stuff. All you have to do is swipe on the bus. You can go to Kroger to shop, or you can go to the mall, which me and my friends went to the mall when we first got here a lot. It's just very convenient, and you're not confined to just, you know, going places in Ann Arbor, because you have the access to going on the city bus for free. So yeah, and I would say the actual school buses, the M buses, that take you around campus. So you have the city buses, which is the ride, that's what they call it. They'll take you around the entire city of Ann Arbor and the Tri-City. And then you have the M buses, which takes you from North Campus to Central Campus, just around campus. So you have those two to the M buses, because I have beef with the M buses, because we'll get to that in the cons. But it's pretty convenient. Transportation is pretty convenient. Okay. Another pro is the endless research and internship opportunities. Like I said before, Michigan is the number one public research university in the country, and there are a lot of opportunities for you to get into research your first and second year here at the University of Michigan. I'm in the undergraduate research opportunity program, and thanks to that program, I literally have on my resume being an assistant, a research assistant in a lab, which, number one, that boosts your resume so much, and it gives you experience, professional experience when it comes to maybe wanting to be more attractive to employers and stuff like that. So you have so many opportunities to be a research assistant. Even if you're not in a program like UROP, you can just email your professors and see, like, are they doing any research, and you can get into that. So that's awesome. And then we have so many opportunities for internships. All you got to do is like go online and ask around or ask people, stuff like that. We have great study abroad programs. So if you want to go study abroad, and they'll pay for it, the financial aid, if you know you're needing financial aid to go study abroad. But there's so many opportunities here. It's crazy. So I love it about Michigan. There is no excuse for you to just go to class and come back and do your work and not be involved in anything. Like, I wish I had that life where I didn't do anything, but I am on go. Like, my schedule is just so jam-packed because I'm taking advantage of every single resource that I have at the University of Michigan. Speaking of resources, another pro is the resources here at the University of Michigan. We have a lot of different resources. Like, for mental health, we have the CAPS program where they can get you a therapist, and they have like this little wellness center where they have massage chairs in the union, and they have this self-care room, stuff like that. There are a lot of cons that comes to CAPS, like the waiting time, so we'll get to that later. But we have the amazing Blue Cupboard, which is a pantry that's free for anybody with an M card. You can get free food, free toiletries, all of that stuff. We have the Career Center where they can let you rent out some professional clothing for interviews or take headshots for free. We have OAMI. We have all of these. We have like literally so many resources. We have the Sweetland Writing Center that help you write essays, Math Lab, like the list goes on. I can't make a video just about University of Michigan resources, which I probably will. But we have so many resources for free that you can utilize. I just love it here because there's always something that can help you. I even got a free laptop because there was a free laptop program happening. Like, there's so many resources here. Another pro is the semester system here at the University of Michigan. We have long breaks for the summer. I think we have like a 4-month break. So basically, we get to school at the end of August, and then now with the new schedule, we end school at the beginning of May. So let's just say May, June, July, August. You literally have 4 months of a summer, which is so long, which could be a pro, but it could be a con to some people. But we have 4 months of summer, and then we have 8 months of school. So, I mean, it's up to you how you interpret that, but I feel like I love having a long summer. You need it after being a student here because it's very stressful. Another pro about Michigan is Michigan time. So Michigan time basically says that, like, basically, if you have an hour-long class, you get out at the 50-minute mark. So let's just say your class starts at 9 a.m. You get out at 9:50 instead of using that whole hour, so it can give you 10 minutes to go to your next class. So that's a pro. I feel like a lot of schools have that. But like, let's just say you have a class on the other side of campus and you need 10 or so minutes to go to your next class. Michigan builds that into your schedule, and that's pretty much like the average time it takes for people to get to their next class anyway, especially if, like, let's just say you have a class on the diag, which is literally the center of campus. Like, it'll take you 10 minutes to travel, like, to any other classroom on average to the diag. It'll take you about 10 minutes-ish, unless if you're on North Campus and you have to take a bus. So I feel like Michigan time is a pro. Another pro is Summer Bridge. There was actually an article that wrote about how Summer Bridge needs to change. Very hot take, but Summer Bridge is the opportunity for you to come to campus before anyone else, take classes in the summer before your actual first fall semester. And I love Summer Bridge, and it changed my life. I returned to work for Summer Bridge. I loved Summer Bridge, so I feel like that's a pro, coming to university early over the summer to take classes and stuff. And there are other programs that allow you to do that. So any summer program that allows you to come to campus early, or you get a chance to come to campus early for orientation regardless. So, but these are all of my pros. Anything that I missed? I don't think so. Just to recap the pros, Michigan is a quality school. Michigan is a top quality school with top quality resources and top quality opportunities that you don't get at every other school. Michigan is fun to go to. I love going here. It's fun. And it'll change your life in terms of, once you get that Michigan degree, employers will look at that and be like, oh yeah, I want to hire you, because Michigan is such a top quality school. Once they see that you graduated from there, like, they're going to be all like, oh yeah, this person's about business. So Michigan is just a quality school overall. I love it. And it gives you so many opportunities to succeed, and that's what Michigan wants you to do. So those are all the pros. And now we're going to get into the cons. The first con about Michigan is that housing is not guaranteed after your freshman year, which means you are homeless after your freshman year unless if you find out somewhere to stay. You're on your own after freshman year, which they never communicated it to us, and they made it seem like, yay, you get to have housing your first year. Housing is guaranteed for freshmen, but they don't tell you have to figure out your stuff on your own after you're a freshman. So in order to find housing, I suggest you apply to be an RA, which is a residential advisor, apply to be a DPE, which is a diversity peer educator, or apply to be in a living learning community. All three of those positions guarantees you housing in the dorm, and a lot of people end up being homeless because the housing goes away very quick. So basically, when it comes to reapplying for housing, there's about 1,000 beds left when they reserve it for first years and everybody else, and then over 2,000 students apply to return their sophomore year every year, or let's just say sophomores, juniors, and seniors reapply to return again. It's about 2,000 of them, and there's only 1,000 beds. So that literally guarantees only half of the people who reapply to get a bed again. I was in that boat where me and my roommate were homeless until we could find somewhere to live, which is you can either find an apartment, a house, or a co-op. So like, I suggest that you guys have a plan when you're a freshman to find out where you're going to live the next year, because the university does not care about you. I'm sorry. They don't care about where you live. They just care about how many people they enroll in the university and how much money they get. Because the reason why we don't have enough housing spaces or beds is because they over admit freshmen. They over admit freshmen every year, and it leaves less room for other people to have housing. So that's something that the university doesn't seem to care about. So that's a huge con to me. Another con is that you apply to everything here. You apply to minor in something. You have to apply to major in some stuff. You have to apply to be in clubs. You have to apply to a lot of stuff here. And it's just like, I applied and got into Michigan. Why do I have to reapply to everything else? It's not everything you have to reapply to, but there's so much. Like, I had to apply for my major, public health. I'm applying to minor in business. And it's just a lot of extra stress added on to you. It's a lot of competition when it comes to that, of course, because there's only so many spots that a program can have. Michigan is a very competitive school, and it's just stupid. Why do I have to apply to be in a club? It's just so stupid. Another con is that Michigan is hard, and of course it'll be easy for some people, but a majority of people would agree that it's hard to go to one of the top public universities in the country. Michigan math is hard. You have to take these mastery tests where if you don't score a certain score, you only have 2 chances per day to score a perfect score. And if you don't score a perfect score, by the end of like the 5th day, like the highest score you get is your score on that test. That's basically what a mastery is, like, in a nutshell. So Michigan math is hard. Michigan in general is hard. So in college, it's like a flipped classroom. You go to class for 2 days out the week, and then you do everything on your own. You do homework on your own. You have to study on your own. You have to do everything on your own, which means you're gonna have something to do every day. You're gonna have homework every day. It's not like high school where you have this free time. In your free time, you do work. You have work every day, and it's a lot. Michigan it's a lot on your plate. And I feel like the intro classes are the hardest. Why is Econ 101 hard? It's supposed to be intro to Econ, but no, it's hard. Like, the intro classes are hard. It doesn't matter what classes you're taking. Michigan is hard, period. Because, in my opinion, intro classes are harder since you're trying to learn everything about that topic in such a short time period. So, a con, in my opinion, is Michigan is challenging. It's very hard and challenging, but you have the resources here to help you succeed, basically. Another con is Ann Arbor is dirty. Ann Arbor is dirty. It's disgusting. I literally saw a turd on the sidewalk. I saw a turd on the sidewalk, and it didn't look like a dog turd. It looked like a human turd, because why was it so huge? And if it was a dog turd, why aren't people picking up their dog's litter? The point is, people in Ann Arbor are dirty. They litter. There's stuff on the ground. There's homeless people sleeping in the middle of the sidewalk, and you have to walk around them. I have nothing against homeless people. State Street, which is the main street in Ann Arbor, is like the streets of New York City. Instead of rats walking around, the squirrels are the rats of Ann Arbor. There's squirrels everywhere. There's constant construction. there's something always being built in Ann Arbor. There's something always being torn down in Ann Arbor. But Ann Arbor is dirty. While Ann Arbor is beautiful, it is also dirty at the same time. I just can't explain it. The weather is brutal out here. I mean, it gets very cold. The coldest it's been here is -7 degrees, and it was this winter. And it's cold, and you have to walk to class. You walk everywhere in college, so you're going to have to go outside every day. And when it's -7 degrees, and it's not always like that, that's just the lowest it's been. Like, the wind is crazy. So, like, they say Chicago's the windy city, but I feel like Ann Arbor is the windy city. Like, the wind just hits your face. The cold wind just hits your face. You're shivering. You're gonna need that huge coat. You're gonna need to invest in a huge coat. You're gonna need to invest in gloves and scarves and hats. Like, it's so cold here, and it makes me like not enjoy going here sometimes. And when I walk into class, I'm like, bro, I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. And it's just so annoying because it literally, I can tell that affects my quality of life. I don't like the weather here, and it's so bipolar. One day it can be snowing, one day it can be like 70 degrees. Like, wasn't it just snowing yesterday, but it's 70 degrees? Like, I don't know. And the only like feasible and reasonable weather is when it's the summertime or when it's in the fall. So good luck to all the Californians, the Floridians. Like, you guys are gonna have to invest in the coat, and you guys are gonna have to get used to this like cold and the snow. It's just horrible. I don't care if I'm overreacting. I was born and raised in Michigan. I'm still not used to the cold. What's another con going to the University of Michigan is Ann Arbor is expensive. The prices are extremely inflated because we're a college town. Even in the small convenience stores like CVS, Walgreens, why am I paying almost $7 for a bag of chips and it's halfway filled with air? I don't understand it. And then there aren't stores like Kroger or like grocery stores on campus. You have to take the bus. Like, the only stores on campus are the smaller CVS's and stuff, and they don't really have good fresh fruits and vegetables. So you're going to have to find somewhere else to buy your like real good food, and everything is so expensive. Just imagine your hometown prices, but like increased by 20-30%, even 50%. Just increase your prices that you usually pay, but like it's more expensive. Another con is that everybody is sick. Everybody is sick here, and a lot of them don't have any home training, so they'll cough on you. When you're sitting in a 300-person lecture and you're sitting next to someone, they'll cough in the air and not cover their mouth. There's a whole bunch of people coughing. There's people sneezing, there's sickness everywhere because there are over 50,000 people that go here, which is my next con, but we'll get to that later. Because there are over 50,000 people that go here and people are sick, like, sickness spreads like wildfire, and there's always somebody coughing near you, and unfortunately there could be someone coughing on the back of your neck, and there's nothing you can do about it because you can't control whether someone's mom or dad taught them how to properly cover their mouth. So it's just very annoying because everybody is sick, and the bathrooms are disgusting, especially in the dorms, because people don't know how to clean up after themselves. The community bathrooms are horrible. If you're living in a dorm, good luck. People's hair is in the drains, all of that stuff. Hair is everywhere. They don't clean up after themselves. In the female bathrooms, there's period blood, toilets. It's just like horrible because people don't know how to clean up after themselves. So people are sick everywhere, and people are uncleanly everywhere, and people don't have home training everywhere. And there's 50,000 people that go here. Which is my next con. This school is huge, and I thought I wouldn't care, but I do apparently, because going to school here, you're going to school with over 50,000 undergrads, grad students, and then just every student that goes here, it totals to be over 50,000 students. So the lectures are huge. Again, there are 300 people in the lecture hall or more, and you have to sit next to somebody. You have no personal space. And again, it goes with people being sick and coughing. And because there are 50,000 people that goes to the school, you are playing crossy road when you're going to class, which means there's like hundreds of people. Let's just say you have a 10 a.m. class. There are hundreds of people walking to class at the same time where they're stepping on the back of your shoes. They're not giving you any personal space. There are people literally like in front of you and behind you, and there's like it's not even about being claustrophobic, but it's just like people don't give you personal space here. Even when sitting in the dining hall, like people will sit next to you, eating, again, coughing, all of that. And it's just like when you're walking to class, there are hundreds, thousands of students walking to class at the same time because a lot of people have the same like time slot with their classes. And again, they give you no personal space, and there's like so many people on the sidewalks, and it's just too much. I personally got used to it, but at the beginning when I was a freshman, like I don't like going to a school where there's so many people that they're literally not giving me any personal space. I get there are over 50,000 kids that go here, but there's so many people walking on the sidewalks at the same time as me. So if you want to go to a smaller school, UMich probably isn't the school for you. Another con is that registering for classes are hell. That goes with having over 50,000 students that goes here. Registering for classes is a competition. You have a time slot for registering for classes, and then once you get time to register, a lot of those classes are full because there are thousands of students that are trying to register for the same class, and it's very annoying because it's a hierarchy system. So all the grad students and seniors and the upperclassmen get to register first, which means the freshmen gets to register last, which means the freshmen are left with the crumbs for classes. They barely get any like good classes that would fit in their ideal schedule, so they have to make up these plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G schedules, and it's just like crazy because when you're a lower classman, like a freshman or sophomore, you get the latest registration time. And again, you're competing with registering for class with hundreds to thousands of students, so it's very annoying unless if you're in a specific like special like major. But again, registering for classes is so stressful because you get lucky if you get your perfect #1 schedule that you made up. And it's just annoying because you go to school with so many people, and registering for classes is one of the most stressful things about going to the University of Michigan. Another con is that laundry costs money here. Out of all of the money you pay for tuition, you have to pay to wash your clothes and be clean. You have to pay, I think, $1.50 to wash. No, $1.25 to wash and $1.50 to dry each load. That adds up, and it's kind of annoying because like I pay all of this money and the university gets like billions of dollars worth of endowments, and they're still trying to get a little revenue by making us pay for laundry. It's just annoying. And that junk adds up, and it just makes me annoyed that we have to pay for laundry here and we pay so much money. So that's annoying. Another con is the lack of diversity. When it comes to people of color, going to a PWI, for example, the black population is a measly 4%. And we know everybody, it feels like. I know a lot of my black people that go here, if not most of them, because there's only 4% of us. I'm pretty sure it's 6% Hispanic, and then when it comes to being Asian, I forgot that percentage. But in terms of like people of color, we're in the minority here. Over half of the student population is white here. There's nothing wrong with that, but it is because when there's only 4% of people who look like you, that means you're like the only black person in your classes. And especially when you're like in a humanities class or you're in a class talking about racial injustice, it can seem like they're talking about things that they know all about it, but you're the only black person in the class who could truly experience what we go through. And it's just annoying because like we have such a small black population that there's not a lot to choose from when it comes to dating, and everybody knows each other. It's like sometimes everybody knows everybody's business, and it's just annoying because there's only so much you can do with 4% of a population, and that's a whole nother video within itself. I could talk about how it sucks being 4%, one of the 4% of black people at a PWI, and how that, like what that entails. But all I have to say is the lack of diversity comes at the cost of just knowing everybody of the same race as you and not having a lot to choose from in terms of dating, and it just sucks. And then all of the inequalities that comes with it, it's not it. Another con is that, again, everyone is connected, even regardless of your race. Really pertains to race too, because again, if there's only 4% of black people here, everybody's connected in some way. And it's one of my biggest cons. Like, I have beef with that con. It can be a good thing or a bad thing, but when it comes to me, I see it as a good thing when it comes to some types of stuff, but like, it can be a bad thing when it comes to, like, if you have beef with somebody, or you're dating somebody, or you dated somebody. I don't know. It's just like everybody's connected. And when I left to come here for college, I just wanted a brand new start, but it's just like I couldn't, because everybody knows everybody, especially when it comes to like my high school and in the Michigan area and stuff like that. So it's just like everybody knows everybody's connected. It's just like Another con is Michigan's dining halls. Michigan dining halls aren't the best. That is one horrible thing about Michigan, is the food is ass. I don't know if it's because I'm cultured and I like my food seasoned and I don't like my meat to be pink, but like, the dining hall foods most of the time aren't seasoned. The eggs are bland as hell. The eggs come out of a bag. The milk comes out of a bag. Everything is like not it, in my opinion. And then the menu is very repetitive. Like, you barely get new dishes on the menu. There's no culture in the dining halls, even when they have, oh, it's Black History Month, oh, it's Native American Heritage Month. They always try to make these cultural or ethnic dishes, and they're so horrible. Why are the collard greens so bland? Why are you attempting to make macaroni and cheese when I can tell it was from a Kraft box? Like, it's just so bad. Even when they try to execute like a cultural dish, I would rather them not do that, because the dining hall is horrible, in my opinion. Some people will love the dining hall. I would say breakfast is a really good meal out of the day, but when it comes to lunch and dinner, it's really a hit or miss. So it really depends on your perspective of food, if you're cultured, if you like your stuff seasoned or not. But our food is not good quality. It's okay, it's decent. I would say our food is mid. And you would not expect that from one of the best universities in the world, would you? Well, yeah, the food is not good. Another con is the horrible parking systems. Do not bring your car to Ann Arbor, because you will have to pay for city parking, unless if it's Sunday, because Sunday is when there's free parking. But to bring your car here is more expensive compared to if you leave it at home, because the parking passes, there's one parking pass to leave your car here overnight, and that's all the way at, like, that's almost off campus to leave your car in that parking lot to have that parking pass. And then the regular parking passes, I think you can park on the street or something, and then you can even park in the parking structure. Y'all, my freaking camera died. I blame the university for not wanting me to talk about all these cons. But let's continue. I was talking about the parking systems, but yeah, you can park in the parking structures, parking lots, and then on the street if you buy certain parking passes. But like, those meter people will be on your ass, so it's not really worth it. And then in the winter, like, they're brutal. Like, you'll get inches of snow, like 5-6 inches of snow. You have to worry about your car. So I advise not to bring your car here, because university like doesn't make room for your car, and it kind of sucks because there's so many people on campus. Another con is CAPS waiting time. So the psychological something program is like the mental health program here on campus, and they provide free therapists, a whole bunch of mental health resources. But in order to get a therapist, you have to wait like months or weeks. So they say they have these resources for you, but the waiting times are absolutely crazy, where when you do get a therapist, by the time you do wait for a therapist, like, what's the point? Because you needed that like weeks ago. So the CAPS waiting times are insane. That's a huge con. It feels like the university hasn't done anything to like help with that. Another con is how crowded everything is, because there's over 50,000 people here. So the dining halls are overcrowded. You have to wait in a line to get into the dining hall and wait in a line to get food at different stations. You have to literally circle around the dining hall for 10 minutes sometimes, and it's annoying because you can't find somewhere to sit, and then when somebody gets up, you can find somewhere to sit, and it's just so horrible because it's like, sometimes I left the dining hall without eating because I couldn't find anything to eat or I couldn't find anywhere to sit. And it's because there's so many people and the dining hall hours are bad. So like on the weekends, some dining halls are closed, and then that forces other people to go to the only dining hall that is open, and that forces people to like literally have the dining halls be over capacity. So for example, East Quad has a dining hall and they're always over capacity. They have an app, there's the Michigan app, and it tells you how many people are in the dining halls. Tell me why every day for dinner it's 105% over capacity. Like, why does that happen? Like, everything is just so crowded, you can't find anywhere to sit in the dining hall. It's like, what's the point? And I feel like it's because they're over-admitting freshmen and they're not capping out the dining hall. They can at least stop people from coming in, and then when somebody leaves, let people come in the dining hall. It's just so stupid, and I feel like it's because they have some dining halls closed on the weekends, and it forces people to migrate to other dining halls. When it comes to the dining halls being over capacity, the libraries are over capacity, which means you probably won't find anywhere to study in the library because every seat is filled. Like, you will have to walk around for like 20 minutes. It's worse in a library. You have to walk around 20 minutes to find a seat. And then you have to sit next to a rando who's coughing. Like, that's something that nobody really told me before I got to University of Michigan, is that not only will the dining halls be over capacity, but the libraries to study will be over capacity, so you can't find anywhere to sit in the libraries, and your dorm study spaces will be over capacity. So it's just like, you can't win for losing here. Sorry y'all, they do not want me to make this video because my camera keeps on shutting off. But anyway, another con is crime. One thing about the university, they'll send you an email and then they'll say crime alert on this street at this time, this happened. Let us know if you have any like intel on it. But I mean, every school has crime, every place in the world has crime, every city has crime. So that doesn't exclude Ann Arbor. There was a string of burglaries that happened to like people who lived in houses. Their houses got broken into in Ann Arbor. Sexual assault is very common, unfortunately, when it comes to crime alerts. We don't get a lot of crime alerts, but when crime alerts do happen, like a common crime alert would be sexual assault at night. So I would say please make sure, whether you're a female or a male, please make sure that you're careful walking in Ann Arbor at nighttime, because you know, sexual assaults happen. There are a couple shootings last summer. So crime is common here, but it doesn't happen a lot. It happens like once or twice or 3 times a semester something happens. I mean, that's everywhere. So, I mean, whatever school you go to, there's going to be crime. So Michigan being a public campus is a con. There are con artists that come to campus. So there are people who stand outside the shops and ask, "Hi, I'm sorry, I'm currently homeless. It's okay if you can Venmo me like $10. Can you cash out me $10? If you're homeless, why do you have an iPhone 15? Why are you asking me to cash out you money when you have a phone? Who's paying the phone bill? Like, I'm so confused. Like, there are people who literally say they're homeless, but like ask you to cash app them or Venmo them money. And it doesn't make any sense. There's so many con artists here, so many random people that try to scam college students on the streets of Ann Arbor. There are people that come on campus with these weird like political like signs and like try to force their politics on you, try to force their religion on you, and it's just crazy. So there's just random people that come to heckle you. So they'll walk up to you, they'll give you stuff. There's people who try to like recruit you. And then it just happens so much. Like, you're just walking to class and there's people trying to like give you something, or people trying to like get something from you, and then it's just like too much. There are so many randos on campus and weird people. unfortunately, a lot of people on drugs. I've seen crackheads on campus. It makes me more sad and it scares me to see people on drugs on campus. Like, I saw this one man, he was cracked out, like cracked out, crashing out on the side of the road. I'm just like, I just go to school here. There's just a lot of weird people here. You have to be careful. Just a public campus being heckled by people, you're gonna get heckled by people. Guys, those are pretty much all the pros and cons about going to Michigan. Is it worth going to University of Michigan? Think about the pros and cons. Drum roll. I think it is worth going to University of Michigan. After all of the bad stuff I said about in the cons, think about quality over quantity. When it comes to the amount of cons, there are more cons than pros, but the pros are so good, in my opinion, that outweighs the cons. So yes, I hate being heckled by random people. Yes, I hate that everything is over capacity. Yes, I hate that everybody knows each other. But I love the success that Michigan is setting me up for. I love the top tier sports. I love the prestige. I love the great academics. I love the relationships with my professors. I love the beautiful campus. I love everything about the pros of Michigan, and it just sets you up to be a better person. It sets you up to be a leader. It sets you up to do whatever you want to do in life. So I feel like the pros do outweigh the cons. I'm a sophomore and I wanted to wait 2 years to kind of give this pros and cons list so I can say I've lived all this stuff. So I lived all of these cons, and they're not worth missing out on what Michigan has to offer. Like, Michigan is such a great place that I have like internships lined up to get me ready for grad school, and I'm already networking with my grad school that I want to apply to. And it's just like everything is working out for me because all the opportunities Michigan has for me, that like all the cons, they're not worth like losing sleep over, because all the pros are way better. It's a matter of quality over quantity, because the quality of the pros outweighs the quantity of cons. So in my opinion, I would say still come to Michigan. I love Michigan. I feel like Michigan is the best decision I've ever made in my life. It's just crazy, and I can tell you guys everything that Michigan has done for me in another video, but I love this school so much that I've just lived with the cons. But hopefully that helps you guys. Thank you so much for watching this long video. Please like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for more UMich videos. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.